고양이.
See?
고양이. 엄마. 엄마.
I'm your mommy.
Welcome back to my channel, Study Korean with Dazzle. I'm Carly. I'm a US-based speech-language pathologist and a Korean language learner. And with my cat, Dazzle, I study Korean and enjoy Korean content. I have a unique perspective on studying languages as a speech-language pathologist, and I'm developing tools that are inspired by things I do every single day as a speech-language pathologist to help learn Korean in a unique way, and I'm sharing those tools with you. The name of these tools are alternative and augmentative communication apps. If you'll check my description below, you'll be able to see links to the purpose and why these apps were created in the first place. I think it's an important thing to be aware of as a human, as a citizen of the world. And I think they're also underutilized as a tool for language learning. And so my hope is to demonstrate to you how they can be effective in language learning. So follow along with me as I develop one in Korean. Stay tuned for the end where I show you this month's additions to the tool, and you'll find a link to the tool in the descriptions. I'm part of the K Influencer Academy class of 2023, and this month is all about... Oh wait, one second. Hello? It's my sister. Can I call you back? Thanks. This month is all about culture. And to me, there is nothing more that says culture than, ready for it? Than the family. Right before this challenge was announced, I had a funny dream. I was back at my great-grandma's house, and she still had the same long driveway, and she still had the red bricks and the tall trees. She was there at the house that she hadn't been in for years. And the rest of the dream was nonsense, but it got me thinking the next day. I hadn't thought about my great-grandma in a long time. And I had that dream right before Memorial Day in the US, which was when our family would traditionally go and clean graves, particularly those of veterans. And we also used it as an opportunity to kind of talk about our ancestors. So between that dream and this challenge for June 2023, where we're comparing culture, Korean culture to my culture, I thought it was a really cool opportunity to think about my ancestors. So it's not only interesting as a content creator, but also as a person. In Korean culture, my understanding is there are a series of ancestor veneration, ancestor rites that have kind of a common name, and that name is Jessa.
제사.
It's a kind of a broader word that encompasses many traditional rites that people participate in various ways. When I first watched Coffee Prince, which was one of the earliest Korean dramas I watched, it was so touching and it was so meaningful, and the food looked delicious. I really wanted a kajang. I think a lot of the food has various symbolic meanings, and the amount you do and what you do probably depends. And some people don't do these rites at all. They just don't. I think here in the US, some people have a really strong sense of their extended family. Maybe they go to big extended family parties. Maybe they have, everyone wears grandma's wedding dress. Really, I think it varies very much. Everybody's kind of, because sometimes it plays into cultural beliefs and religious beliefs. So it really depends. But I can't really think, besides honoring our veterans,
I can't really think of a time that I really just sit down and go, oh, I'm thinking about grandma.
And learning about Jessa and the various customs and the foods that come with it is I've appreciated how I also use food. I have recipes for bread and recipes for candy and desserts that my grandmothers had made, and so it reminds me of them when I cook it. And plants that remind me of my family members, but I don't set aside a specific time to consider it. And not that I have to, but sometimes life gets busy and you go years without thinking about a family member like I did, and it would be really cool to have something more formal to help me just pause.
Makes me think a little bit. Maybe I need to call my sister. Te unieo. Much clearer. Much clearer. Thank you, Korean language.
제 언니 제 언니예요.
The resource this month is all about family as well. I have a listing of various family members and their names, like types of family members that I've included here, and you can press the people section, Saram, and then you'll be able to open up to the family members. If you want to stay on that page, you can go to the menu and press stay on this page, and there's a little thing that will pop up. It gets a little annoying, but if you're able to ignore that, you can kind of spend some time clicking through the buttons and finding kind of those family names. I also have specifically a study page. Something that I find interesting with Korean family names when there's so many is it really depends on this perspective of the person talking. So here you can press the mom or the dad or the grandparents or the children, and it will show you how and you might address the extended family members. Some of the extended family member names really aren't necessarily used by every Korean. It might depend on your generation or the traditions of your family. So I felt less worried about what to call my husband's older brother's wife than I did before. So those are the resources, and I hope you continue studying, and we can do this. Happy studying.